Hey guys, so I got a little bit stuck in my own feelings a little bit in this episode about certain opinions, and just to kind of not reiterate, but I guess pre-iterate my opinions on like the holiday of Halloween. It really just pertains to actually celebrating the holiday. Ooh. Really pertains to celebrating the holiday in whole. It doesn't really is not my opinion. Yes, I had expressed my opinion on how I feel about certain ways like religions like practice certain holidays, but it's not in any way like crap talking religions. You are welcome to celebrate your religion and celebrate holidays like around your religion, how you would like to. So I just wanted to preface it, and if I did get off subject, that's totally my bad. So I just want to say that here, and it is spooky season, and we had a couple technical difficulties, I'll just say. So I hope you enjoy. Spooky. That was
I don't think Disney liked that comment.
It's not a Halloween episode if there isn't like some weird
weird shenanigans going on.
Welcome to the I'm staying on track, but dang it if we try to. So it's Halloween specials. It's a Halloween special, it's right around the corner. So today we're gonna be talking about that. And do you guys have like a specific like memory or Halloween special that you remember? So yeah,
I don't really remember that much. All I remember is the SpongeBob SquarePants Scaredy Pants episode and the Fairly Odd Parents episode with the robot pumpkins. That seems to be about all I remember, but I do remember Halloween themed commercials. So like I remember there was this one where it was like kids in a mall and they were trying to escape from headless mannequins or something. And it was set to like a really foreboding music that would like it like whenever the mannequins were like walking, it would like it was like going to the beat of the mannequins walking. And this one other commercial where I think it was like for a product or something, where I remember how it started. It started with a family at a dinner table, and the mother was like, "Can someone pass the butter?" And then it automatically cut to a severed hand, pushing the butter over. The mom's screaming, and then the actual like commercial product thing begins, and it's like introducing this. I think it was like a robotic hand or something. I don't know. That's all I remember.
That sounds like something they would do for like something they would do for like a Addams Family type ad.
Yeah.
So I remember John was talking about it a little bit earlier to us, but you were mentioning about Agatha all along, and I noticed like your sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's this one. Yeah. Yeah.
I still really like his casual clothes. Like
I do too.
And his like super suit. Like I'm trying. Long story short, for those who aren't behind the scenes, we had a little bit of technical issues. We had this conversation a little bit before, so this is somewhat of a retake. We're not gonna lie, we don't want to like fake that we didn't like just have this conversation like 20 minutes ago, but it's kind of funny
because it's kind of funny because I think there's spooky things going on today.
It's spooky season. It's spooky month, so the episode is cursed because this is the Halloween episode. But No, and I said before in like the previous take is, Agatha is a good like Halloween type special, and the costuming and the theming for that whole mini series is just, even if it's like a one season thing, for what it leads to, I think it's a good as like a Marvel Halloween special alongside Werewolf by Night. I
Mm-hmm.
think they're both great Halloween like type things to watch.
And
I
Marvel's
guess
on.
I'm a little bit
I
dubious on
I
zombies,
don't
but
know. I don't know. I haven't seen that yet, but I've seen stuff on it.
it's
But
it's it's in that what if cartoon style, and I
oh
don't like
yeah.
that
Yeah, it
style.
expanded from that What If episode.
Yeah, like I said, I don't really like that what if cartoon style. It's like it's trying to be comics, but
Mhm.
then it does like that weird thing where it outlines like the lips, and I don't like that. Like there was something about it, and when people make like MCU humor jokes, something about like that show also like magnifies the MCU humor jokes.
Mhm.
Um, I wish that we could get more of speaking back to Werewolf by Night. I wish that we could get more of Jack and Ted. Like
Mhm.
Jack and Ted were only in the movie for like, well, the special, because it was like I think only an hour long. Jack and Ted were only in it for like so long, and obviously we get Bloodstone. She's in there for a little bit. Until I know she's basically a central character for the movie. So, I really do like when they make these types of projects for around this time of year. Um, and I think you said you said earlier that you had like the whole like even super suit. Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
say it again. I'm gonna say it again. That is a great super suit. And I'll let you talk about it because yeah, you notice costuming a little bit better than I did doing things.
Well,
Obviously, I'll
the thing
because
is
you got an eye
that
for it. So
we did get a hint from a previous show before Agatha all along on what Billy Kaplan, aka Wiccan's costume was going to look like. At least we were going to get a sense of what it was going to look like
yeah,
from Agatha all along from when he was a kid. And then when we actually saw the costume come to life, like the official look of what he looks like, I had two reactions when I saw it the first time. One, Jolok looked freaking amazing. He looked
well,
freaking
yeah.
amazing as Wiccan. And two, my reaction was, dang it, now I got to get a new cosplay.
And I think like
Yeah.
um, I really think translating the spandex or whatever like fabric
Mhm.
or material that they
Mhm.
have in the comics into like that magical whatever I can't whatever type of fabric or whatever they use in the MCU for magic characters. It's not
Yeah.
leather, but it's like something made with hellfire or chaos magic or something.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I like the way that they did his costume.
Mhm.
And you know,
And
oh yeah,
actually, speaking of costumes, just to get back on track as usual, um, I did want to mention about trick or treating, in fact.
Yeah.
So when I was a kid growing up until maybe like in middle school, I did a little bit of trick or treating,
Mhm.
but I was more interested in the costume aspect and being specific characters rather than the act of trick or treating itself. For example, my mom tried to look for a full armor knight costume and also was trying to look for a red Mystic Ranger costume, when that was a thing.
I
So
yeah.
yeah, I
I remember I had we had a Halloween party at one of my old houses, and I remember it was either 2002. I think it was either 2002, 2003. I was the Red Time Force Ranger one year. Um, and then I remember very vividly, I was so angry. I'm not like angry almost 30 years later angry, but like so my mom I've stated this before. My mom was a teacher at the school I went to, right? And they were kind of worried that oh my she was worried, oh, we don't want like too violent of costumes like at the school Halloween like thing or whatever. So she sends me to school in an Elmo costume. I was livid.
oh my gosh.
And we had and my classmate was over here in a blue Wild Force Ranger costume. Boom. I'm like, what the heck? She did get me a red Wild Force Ranger costume like later on, but it was still like, you know, it's like, okay, he's
Parents do
going
not
around.
understand.
It's like he's going around in the Power Ranger costume. How come I can't?
It's like
Like
parents not understanding show.
I just felt so embarrassed because like, I'm getting kind of babied for it, and then like obviously my this was kindergarten, and my teacher was dressed as Winnie the Pooh. Ooh, and I kind of just like got grouped with my teacher, or because basically we're in like baby show type costume. This is like, oh come on, man, I could have been the Red Wild Force Ranger. Like, come on.
Yeah,
Uh,
I feel like some people would relate to that. And
Yeah.
actually speaking of Halloween parties at a school, I do remember that my middle school had a Halloween party where they had a makeshift scare maze where all they really did was just decorate the hole with spooky stuff and flashing lights and just turn off the dark, and that was it.
I think
And
that's what
with
ours did. Uh,
yeah. It
John
was
D.
I was just
Oh.
gonna say I experienced my a makeshift Halloween Horror Nights maze.
John, do you have like any like specific either costume memories or like
I
school like
mean,
party or whatever?
I've got a lot of costume memories, but they weren't really like Halloween specific
Uh,
because I don't know. It's the thing I used to be part of years ago. They would celebrate something called All Saints Day, and instead
mhm.
of Halloween, they would have the kids dress up as saints or something like
Oh,
that.
you know what?
It
I've heard of
was,
that.
it was,
I
if
really
I'm,
think it's kind of something along the lines of like trunk or treating. It's like, you get the whole dang holiday. Everybody else is doing this holiday. And
yeah,
then you get a bunch of, I'm sorry to say,
yeah,
people in the comments, people that like family members that we send this to and all that stuff, they can get mad at us or me if they want. But it's like you're taking like the joy of Halloween. You're taking like Halloween away from your kids from doing Saints Day and or trunk or treating a week or two before. And it's like they're always worried that, oh, we're gonna go to some stranger's house and they're gonna put weird stuff in our candy. It's like you're more likely to get weird stuff in your candy from like some like rando's car in a big parking lot than you are
yeah,
gonna like if you're going to somebody's house. If especially if you're chaperoning your kid, just chaperone your kid. It seems like some of these people don't want to like take their kids out to trick or treat with them. And they just want to sit at home like on Halloween and watch all the specials or whatever or something while their kids are just like wanting to do
Actually,
Halloween.
actually, and I to play devil's advocate real quick,
Mhm.
I actually did find out that what I find really interesting is that um, a lot of the traditions in a way, sure, like there is some debate as to the origins of Halloween and also most holidays in general because, well, there's not one specific origin, but from what I've heard is
Mhm.
that a lot of the traditions, some of the traditions, like with
Mhm.
dressing up in and like actually dressing up as your favorite saint, that actually had ancient origins, actually,
Yeah,
from like early days of
yeah.
Christianity. Like a lot of the traditions, like I say a lot, but some of the traditions came
Yes,
from Christianity. So, and they just,
exactly.
so it's kind of, it's like it's a weird mix of like different traditions coming together. Um, and actually, and with some traditions of like turnip carving becoming pumpkin carving, and also dressing up as like and also dressing up came from like Irish and Scottish, all congregating
Right.
into America, and that's how, and it essentially it evolved into the modern form, mostly in America. So
Yeah.
I'm not entirely a fan of being all like, oh, the Christians ruined it. I'm like, well, technically the Christians sort of started our modern Halloween anyways. So
They
it's like,
started it. They started it. First it was considered Halloween was considered as a pagan tradition.
Yeah.
Then the Christians took over it. Then it morphed back into some. Then
well,
it morphed into something that it's just
well,
isn't
that's
anymore.
it's
But
it's complicated.
it's
I
It's
think
very
complicated.
yeah, it's very complicated. Yeah.
it's a mix.
It's complicated.
I just don't want it to be all like, oh, the Christians ruined it. Well,
Yeah,
okay,
no, it's like it's
sometimes
very
they,
now it's very corporatized. A lot
well,
Yeah, and then
I
when
mean
they
it's been
corporatize stuff,
corporatized.
and
yes, like
that's really
sometimes,
where.
like before we get into that, sometimes yes, sometimes the Christians like did things with pagan traditions, but for some of like pagan traditions, they just
Mhm.
left it alone. So it's like a mix of like both of these things
Yeah,
together in a way.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
I mean they
I
did
don't
the
want
same
to.
thing with Christmas. I mean like
Yeah, it's the origins of holidays are very very complicated, and
yeah.
actually, I could probably like send actually I could probably send you guys a video of where I kind of heard this from.
Hmm.
I just do think it's ironic. Not maybe not ironic, but funny. Where like in the same vein or same time where like people are like, "Oh, Halloween, we're gonna dress our kids up and do this stuff. We're gonna celebrate." And like not too long later, it's like it's the devil's night. It's a bad thing. It's like I'm probably like straw polling or whatever when I say that, but it's like the fact that like we've kind of come to that where people will are kind of starting to regress back to, oh, it's like a thing, it's bad. It's like, it's kids see the costumes, they want to have fun. I think like we need to just supervise your kids. take
Yeah.
take them to go get some candy.
Supervise them, and when you hear supposed cases of like razors or needles in like candy, it's like
Ch-
actually think about it for a second and
Check your
don't
kids
automatic.
candy.
But yeah, check your kids' candy, but also don't like actually like think about it for a second, because for like most of the cases, like like the supposed cases of these things happening are like they're they're based in myth,
It's the
almost
Jaws
non-existent,
effect.
huh?
It's the Jaws effect, really.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say the Jaws effect, but it's a similar thing to the Jaws effect where it's like they had like all this like the superstition around it was from something, and it just kind of blew up into a whole thing, and now this is why we have like people going and doing like taking their kids out trick or treating like a month, like half a month before, and like just kind of defeating the purpose of like the whole holiday. Which
Yeah.
I'm not saying with it becoming so corporatized, like that it's I yeah I don't want to defend it, but I also do want to defend it because like I grew up in like a huge like I want to say I don't want to say classic era because obviously 80s and 90s like back when they had like they were putting kids in like plastic masks and smocks or whatever or
Yeah.
I mean obviously we're in a prime era when it comes to costuming. I'm going to be honest, but no, I'll let you play devil's advocate, and we don't have to agree on like some of these things. I really think like this whole trunk or treat or Saints Day thing kind of defeats the purpose of having, like doing the whole holiday.
I mean,
because it's taking that
sure.
away from the kids.
I mean, sure, but at the same time, it's kind of like I'm not going to throw a hissy fit about it or anything. It's
No, you're not. I'm not saying anything specifically like towards like religious groups. I just think like if you're going to celebrate a holiday in the middle of the month or celebrate an alternative holiday because you don't like that specific holiday, it's like then just don't celebrate it.
Yeah.
And and actually so it's kind of like from where I grew up, even though we did like some trick-or-treating, like for the most part, people just kind of like sat on their porches or backyards and they just had like, fires and such. It was nothing great. It was mostly laid back, and obviously we decorated the house and stuff like that. And we also did like Boo at the Zoo.
That sounds pretty
And
fun. I mean,
yeah, it was nothing crazy or anything. It was more laid back, if anything. And actually, I do. And actually, I was talking to my mom about, Halloween memories, if like she remembers anything, because I barely remember a lot of things. When I was really little, like early single digits before I could comprehend any thoughts, I've never heard of You Been Food baskets, where essentially we would leave gifts or candy at someone's front door, mostly for people that we know, and it would be anonymous. And sometimes we would have like
that kind of
food
reminds
baskets.
me of the Halloween UNICEF baskets or boxes that they would do that you would like fill with stuff and then give to like UNICEF or something, but I could be like misremembering.
I think these were different because they would also include a poem.
Maybe.
Mhm.
Maybe. Yeah, so
So,
I
and
was
sorry, you.
no, you finish your thought because I kind of had transition over to another part.
Well, actually, what I was wanting to mention about how you think that when you mentioned about how Halloween is now being corporatized, I'm like, yeah,
It's
to
always
some
been.
extent, it's kind of always been, but not as much as Christmas. But something that I've been thinking about is I don't know why I feel this way, and it just could be because I'm an adult and I'm not a happy but naive child anymore, or stuff like that. But it's really starting to feel like Halloweens recently have just been different in an almost unsettling way. Like
Yeah.
something doesn't feel right. And maybe it's just because they suffered from how companies nowadays are not shy about how corporate and commercialized they are.
I think that's the thing. It's like they've always been corporatized, and that's what I said. They've always been corporatized,
Yeah, of course.
but like they're not hiding it
Yeah, they're not
as
hiding it
like
anymore.
it's a lot easier to pick up how corporatized it is. Speaking of corporatized,
I mean, why do you think we see Halloween? Oh,
go ahead, John. I want to hear what you said.
I was about to say, why do you? It's like why do we all of a sudden see when Halloween time comes around that all the stuff is out in like August? They want to put
Or
all this stuff
July.
out. Yeah, or end of July or early August is when they start putting out Halloween stuff.
Shoot, I'll
Or
see
even
stuff.
when sorry.
I was gonna say shoot, I'll see stuff in like after 4th of July. No, go ahead, Jen.
Or like you literally see Christmas stuff and we're not even done with Halloween yet. It's not even
Exactly.
Halloween yet.
Yeah.
Speaking of corporatized Halloween, um, you know, I remember this is something I always really enjoyed about like Halloween time was when like the channels, the networks, and their accompanying websites would like theme everything to Halloween. You know, you would have like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
purples, the oranges, the cobwebs, the jack-o'-lanterns. You know, I just always think back to that. And I remember just so vividly around the time like some of these specials would come out, like Halloween specials, like you get the Halloween brouhaha from Ed and Eddie, or like the Billy and Mandy Halloween specials. That show is pretty Halloween-esque anyway, so you could probably
Mhm.
watch that whole series like around Halloween anyway.
Like
But
House of Horror,
yeah, Treehouse of Horror
Treehouse of
especially.
Horror. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the the way that like a lot of these networks and all these like channels, TV shows would theme accordingly. Like, yeah, there would be like Halloween specials around Halloween. Although I do notice like Treehouse of Horror has like either premiered a week before Halloween in November, or barely have I ever really ever seen a Treehouse of Horror actually premiere like on Halloween, even though
Mhm.
that is the Halloween de facto Halloween special.
Mhm.
No, I'm
Yeah.
gonna check something.
Mhm.
Or did
Uh
you? And speaking of Treehouse of Horror, did you see the newer episode or clips from the new Treehouse of Horror where they
no.
blend? So there's a new clip where they're blending like 2D animation and 3D animation, but all the 2D animation is like really flash animated, if you know what I mean, or like Adobe animated. I don't know how else to, you know, put that, but it's a lot more jumpy, so to speak.
Yeah.
I really don't know how else to like explain that. Like, obviously, the 3D animated characters are a lot more fluid because they're animating in 3D, and I think it's just like 2D and 3D rigs, and maybe the 2D rigs aren't blending very well with the 3D characters. But it's like slightly off topic for 1 second. I'm just gonna say it to get it out of my head.
Mhm.
It's kind of sad to see like a state of animation for a cartoon that has been going on since 1989. We are 4
Mhm.
years away from its 40th anniversary. And the fact that are that close to its 40th anniversary, and the animation has, if the
Plummeted.
animation is declining, I mean, the animation has been declining, but like
Mhm.
the animation is declining because they want to go cheaper routes. You know, they went from cell to digital. You know, hopefully they don't like go the Fairy Odd Parents route and then like whatever the heck they did, like right towards the end, you know. But it's just kind of seeing what happened to that franchise is kind of the real sad thing to see what they are doing to themselves. I mean, I'll say this. It's probably a dumb observation. I think Family Guy has aged a lot better, like animation wise. Yeah, they're basically have always been kind of a little bit on the cheaper side when it comes to their animation, but they've actually kind of, I don't want to say stuck to their guns, but like you could show me a clip from 10 years ago and you could probably show me a clip from now. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Mhm.
But like with The Simpsons, it's a little bit more like easier to tell, you know, outside of like certain characters. But you know, there's the lighting, there's just a lot of it. Um, okay, back to the thing, and I think it needs to really be. I mentioned it with the networks and everything. I think, in John, you want to talk about this was like what really constitutes a Halloween special. Like there's a lot to go into it. Obviously, it doesn't just have to be trick or treating. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's not
they could,
just about it's not just only trick or treating. It's also like decoration. It's also like like something that gives people jump scares or really scary moments, or the simple stuff, the simple tropes.
yeah,
And
yeah.
also
I
sometimes
mean, I
it
mean,
also
sometimes, sorry.
sorry.
No. You get your thought out, Jenna.
Although sometimes that's kind of what happens in some episodes of some shows anyway, so
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of it's
Well, some of
kind of
those shows
weird.
are, yeah, some of those shows are just already like Halloween-y shows that just air year round.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Goosebumps. That was a show
Yeah.
that aired year round, and now it's just whatever network picks it up for reruns. It's
Hmm.
Yeah.
like, but yeah, and
So, oh,
well,
were you gonna say
like you said, John, is like, yeah, there's a lot of the theming of like the decorations or just theming in general, jump scares. Obviously, not cheap jump scares.
Yeah.
Although, some of these cartoons don't really know how to do not cheap jump scares. Sorry to
Right.
say, but
Yeah.
you know, they tend to be a little bit more macabre in some
Hmm.
senses. I mean, obviously, you have older, cartoon specials where, they'll just have the characters go trick or treating. I mean, look at like the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Like that one's a big one. But I think that's also that is a Halloween special. I was gonna say that might be more of a Thanksgiving thing, but no, that's a Halloween
yeah.
special. Um, yeah, no, I think it just really depends on who is animating it too, because or what team it's to. So
Uh
now you can go, Jenna.
it's I don't know. And I honestly, from what I've been thinking about, or at least from what I've been seeing, sometimes it and sometimes I kind of wish that Halloween specials actually like stood out instead of being
Yeah.
like samey, essentially.
Yeah. Hmm. I
Like
agree.
it could be, I mean, yeah, sure, depending on the story, it could be like a Halloween equivalent in that
Right.
universe. That
Mhm.
could help it stand out a bit so that it fits within that specific culture or whatever. But I don't know. Just kind of wish they would stand out a bit. Like Halloween
Mhm.
special, like they actually like did more with it.
Like, I guess
Yeah.
how like what exactly do you mean when you mean samey? I guess like
I
give me an
they
example.
they I mean I don't like
Like,
Like,
they follow the tropes to the T,
yeah.
and that's it.
do you think can you think of an example, John? Just to for a good example.
I mean, like some of the tropes, as Jenna was saying, some of them just feels all samey, and it's like they're not trying to be unique about it. And I think it's the uniqueness and trying to stand out problem. And they're like, no, we can't go this far. We
Mm-hmm.
can't, we're gonna have to lighten this part up a bit because we don't want it to be that creepy or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And it's like you're kind of taking away the point of what a Halloween special could be.
Yeah. I think
So,
I think I'm kind of getting where you guys are going at, where it's like, just having the
Maybe
characters trick or
maybe
treat and then actually run into a real monster,
yeah.
like
like I maybe something like with how maybe early cartoon, like early 2000s or something cartoons did it versus like early 2010s or so cartoons would do it.
Yeah.
Mm.
yeah. Yeah, like there's plenty. Like I already mentioned a couple. Like, the Ed and Eddie special, the numerous amounts of Billy and Mandy specials. Like I said, that show is like something you could watch during Halloween because of how like macabre or creepy it is. There's a couple. there's actually a good couple shows I would recommend to be like, oh yeah, watch this during Halloween time because like it is prime Halloween like content. Um, it's I do I do want to say that like Treehouse of Horror as just like Halloween specials don't like I think the first couple up Treehouse of Horrors did include characters going out trick or treating, but I do think it is interesting like taking a look at like the Raven episode
Mm.
or the Raven short or the um sorry a little bit of gas like the time traveling toaster
Mm.
where it's kind of it's the what if type example of what if this weird thing happens, it's a non-canon episode, so we're just gonna make up whatever, try to be creepy. I think what 2-3 years ago, maybe 5, maybe 10, I lost track, they did a whole like Babadook thing with Marge, and
Yeah.
they just did a Homer Venom parody
Mm.
with his pants, and the Venom like denim symbiote thing was all in 3D, which honestly I think if they're gonna mesh 2D and 3D, do it that way rather than whatever the heck they did
Yeah.
with this more recent episode. But I think yeah, no, I can kind of understand where I think because a lot of them were or are when the shows aren't always like specifically macabre in
Yeah.
a sense. They usually just kind of go we're just gonna have our characters trick or treat, or they're trying to find costumes. But what if this thing happened? Let's Scooby Doo this crap or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's they usually kind of fall into like that kind of category of like, oh, there's something to do with these costumes, and then there's like a kind of Scooby Doo type mystery or something. I think another
Mhm.
series to watch during Halloween times.
Yeah.
It's I do get what you're coming from. I do get where you're coming from because it's like that's a formula that is I don't want to say tried and true. It's tired and true, so to speak. And like certain shows should really be the only let let those shows do it and don't try to copy them because obviously you're going to get a Scooby Doo parody during a
Yeah.
Halloween episode.
Although I do remember like one like sort of Halloween episode that actually does stand out. It was the Smiling Friends Halloween episode from season 1. I don't know if you've ever
I
seen
seen it.
it,
I seen it.
but where like Charlie wouldn't want to wear a costume because who knows what's going to be offensive later, and then the
The monster
episode
gets beat up because like his actual body it is like
like
that, and they think it's an offensive costume.
yeah, and so they and Charlie is like, "Do you see? This is why. This is why I don't."
See that? See that? This is why I don't wear costume. Yeah. No. No. That's not the. That's a. You could say that's a natural episode too.
Yeah.
It
And I
fits
think
into the show naturally.
I think what would make a Halloween special actually work is if it fits naturally in the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you know having it not feel like why what was leading up to this or maybe it just really doesn't fit into the types of worlds that they fit into. I mean, obviously you have ones
I
like
mean, granted, if it's like take place in generic suburban or city place or whatever, sure, you could probably add that in there. But if not, then why?
yeah,
Some
I think what kind of what we're kind of getting with, and I think I might, although I might be wrong, is like if it doesn't fit into the world of the show, having like these big scary monsters or like this whole big Scooby Doo type thing happening, and it just kind of feels samey. But like if you bring it into a show that already is a little bit weird, possibly is a little bit macabre, you kind of heighten that
Yeah.
whole world. Obviously another good example is, when Gravity Falls does like one or two
Oh
Halloween
yeah.
things. It's like that show's already like pretty weird, pretty spooky. Just bring it in some extra Halloween flavor, and then you're good. You got a good thing going. So, but maybe it's just
Maybe I'm just
I'll
crazy. It's like
and
maybe I'm
maybe
just crazy or whatever, but I don't know.
and maybe I'm weird. Maybe I defend like one of my all time favorite Halloween specials, Halloween Brouhaha, because the show is like the Ed and A Halloween Brouhaha, because the show's already kind of weird. It already, in some senses, defies logic or stuff in a sense for comedy. So having the one character who's like never really mentally there, kind
Yeah.
of imagine everything going on,
Yeah.
like that fits for the character. It doesn't. It does. Oh, boo ha ha. That's it. But it doesn't necessarily break immersion into the show. It doesn't necessarily break the canon of the show, because that's something that happens, something that could happen in a regular episode. You know, like Ed has like read too many comics, and like you get the whole like robot space knights episode or whatever. Then this is that episode is a prime example of something that has happened before, and it's like, and they're just doing it in a Halloween format. So I think yeah, like as long as you can fit it into the theme of the show, then yeah, that would definitely help. And don't like shoehorn that theming in to the show.
Yeah.
John, did you want to? Because we do have a little bit more time. Do you want to?
Couple
There's
minutes.
other
Yeah.
stuff you want to bring up, because I want to hear your thoughts on stuff.
I mean, like, well, one of the favorite specials, Halloween specials I have personally, which is Disney's Mickey House of Mouse Halloween special.
Ooh,
Like that's one of my favorite Halloween specials that I like watching sometimes. Surprisingly, House of Mouse is not even on Disney Plus or anything. So yeah, I got to
yeah,
borrow
it's
from the
so
library
weird.
or something.
Is it
Whatever.
the one? Is it the one where all the Disney villains show up and they do the
House of
big musical
Villains.
number thingies?
Yeah,
I think a lot of people can think of House of Villains when they think of that one.
yeah, House of Villains. I think that's the special
Oh
called.
yeah.
I was going to say
Mhm.
one Halloween special that Tabby loves to watch and I used to eat up was the Scary Godmother series.
Oh yeah.
I think, and that's a good one too. And I always think it's funny that Halloween special, great, lovely Halloween special, is also made by the same studio that made the CGI Transformers shows. It's so dumb, it's so funny. But I think it's very much in the spirit of the show, and it's so weird. Like maybe I'm misremembering. I thought there was three, but I think there's only two,
No,
right?
I think there's two. I think there might just be two.
Yeah, no, that's it's it is
Uh,
just it's a great special that
yeah.
definitely deserves, like, the characters too, specifically. They deserve a lot more love
I
too,
mean,
because of how
it's probably because of, people online be like, "Oh, this is so weird and it's so uncanny" or stuff like that. It's just like, okay.
I mean, was
I
it
mean, yeah,
not?
true. I mean, it's true, but like that doesn't mean completely disregarding it altogether. That sort of thing. I mean, I think nowadays for me, I've just mostly been focusing on like Halloween-esque movies
Mm-hmm.
in a way. Like Halloween-esque movies slash mini series, things like that.
I think, a lot of people like to watch just literal horror movies like during Halloween time, even though they make some of these things like year round. It's like there's nothing
Yeah.
stopping you from watching a horror movie like in the middle of like April or
Yeah.
July. Um, but a lot of people like watching Halloween movies during like Halloween. Like, I mean, shoot, I probably am gonna go watch Ghostbusters and Halloween just because I feel like it, or
That sounds
maybe
fun.
tonight. Yeah,
That sounds fun.
you can't go wrong with Ghostbusters.
Another
Yeah.
movie I like, another Halloween movie I like, I consider one of my favorite Halloween movies is The Craft.
Ooh,
I
that's
feel like that's such a great Halloween movie, and I've actually come up with my idea for a movie that's kind of like The Craft, but it's not in that realm. But it would be
Yeah.
interesting to kind of like that would be for
Um,
another. But obviously,
I really
yeah.
like uh Paranorman. I think
Paranorman is so good,
it's so good, and it's
so
so good in
good.
fact that Paranorman is actually being re-released in theaters with a new
Ooh,
short that is
ooh,
going on from like I think the 25th to through the 28th.
Yeah, and that one they're using CG
Yeah,
for,
they're
I
using
believe. But
CG.
like it
Yeah.
looks pretty close. Like I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie.
yeah. As long as it actually looks like the original stop motion style, then it's like, wow, this is pretty good.
I
So the short is going to be differently animated from the movie,
Yes.
is
technically
what
I
I'm
think
getting
just
correct,
because
right?
the
Technically, yes.
puppets aren't I don't think the puppets necessarily exist anymore.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But
Isn't Leica coming out with a new movie soon? Like a different, like something in the woods or something?
Oh, Wild there that studio is making Wildwood.
yeah,
That
that's
looks so good. I
I
haven't seen
know.
much
that
of
studio.
anything of it, but it looks so good.
Oh, okay. I'm seeing some visuals from it. It's pretty close to the original.
Hmm.
It's got like I'm trying to figure out the right way to say it, but I actually think it
It's like
looks pretty good for like being a 2.5D
it's kind
animated
of like
version of it.
it's kind of like a like almost like I, it
It's cell
actually
animated.
it captures the
That's cell animated.
stop motion style. It captures the original stop motion style.
Yeah, it's in the same like style of the stop motion, but it's like cell shaded, but not in the kind of crappy or cringy. Whoa, we put a cell shaded filter over it. It's like it looks natural to the style. It's
Yeah.
a little bit choppy. It looks you could almost say like I'm even looking at it right now like
Mhm.
the way Norman's hairline is, the way his eye shapes are yeah, it's like it's very true to the original thing. And I think I made this joke behind the scenes. I would hope just for the laughs that they bring in the jock dude's boyfriend just for like because what it was like last year they revealed what he looks like even though he was like a one-off joke. It's like okay, you reveal what he looks like,
Are you gonna do something with
then
it?
yeah, do
Yeah,
something with it. Like that's
yeah,
the thing. It's like just do
guys, it's kind of like guys, don't check it out on this. You have
don't
one
chicken out
job.
on it. It's the big 2-5. We
Yeah,
need to be more vocal about this stuff. We need to be more brave about this stuff. Put that guy's boyfriend on screen, even if it's for like 2 seconds or like we're asking for it at this point. Like
yeah,
don't chicken out. So it's that one's a really good one too. I think
yeah.
Lakia does a lot of good. Lakia is a great like studio for a lot of that stuff. I think they also did Corpse Bride too, I think, right? Or was that
Uh,
Disney?
no, that's something
Tim Burton.
else.
I know Tim Burton did that one, or at least
Yeah,
it was
I
Yeah,
know it's
styled
co-
like
Tim
Tim
Burton. It
Burton.
might be.
yeah,
Oh, is a co-producer. So it is technically still is a Disney or is a Tim Burton movie, but is co-produced by Lakia.
Hmm.
yeah.
So I side tangent for a second. I really do appreciate how Lakia does all these kind of spindly or just really Burton-esque type designs
Hmm.
or whatever type designs they are and translates them into like these puppets. Like it is a such a good visual style. Like I love it. I appreciate that they're always like really dedicated to that visual style. Oh, give me a second.
Yeah.
I'll let you.
Yeah, I think we should probably
Sorry, I
wrap
had a
up.
little bit. Sorry, I had a little bit of a guess. Yeah, probably would be good. I think, but kind of, just to close off. You know, yeah, the holidays are corporate. They've always
Mhm.
really been corporate, especially as long as we've been alive. I
Yeah.
just, there's something about kind of the same thing with Christmas is like there's something about having that time to kind of celebrate and have whimsy in the holiday that I just wish that people in general could have more of. And yeah, is it corporatized? Yeah, is it did I wear a costume that was just like super like do I think I would probably wear a Red Ranger costume nowadays? No, especially with some of the stuff that's come to light about the people behind the scenes and the actors and stuff. I probably wouldn't. I
Yeah.
probably would call it like a red Sentai or like some sort of Sentai character cosplay, but I'm not going to go let's say I'm a Red Ranger nowadays just because there's a lot of negative connotations towards
Yeah.
it. I might like the Spider-Man or whatever, but it's like, yeah, there's
Hmm.
there's a lot of layers
Hmm.
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't get me started. I remember one year, um, I said it earlier, where my mom didn't want me to be in too violent of a costume.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I wanted to be Darth Vader,
Mm.
and she was like, "I think it's a little bit too violent," so she made me dress up as Harry Potter. And obviously all that stuff came out with
Oh
Harry
my
Potter and
word!
Joanne's like whole like brain and everything. I did get to be Darth Vader later on, but it was just still like I have a good relationship with my mother. I'm just saying I can understand where she's like just a little bit trepidatious about having her, very young child in a very violent like costume because like me, like 29 now. If I had a kid, I'm trying to have a kid. If I had a kid, of course I would be nervous too, like putting my kid in a little like Jason or like Chucky costume.
Oh
It's
my
like
gosh. I
they
could
have
not.
they have no idea what that is. And you're
Gosh.
not gonna let your kid watch that crap for another like 10 years or so, 10 plus years or so. It's like don't put your kid in like some like really creepy and macabre. Don't dress your kid up as like Pennywise. I'm
Not only not
not trying to be a
only
party pooper, but
don't only do that when it comes to Halloween, but also don't do it when you're at Comic-Con either.
yeah,
Oh
Just
yeah.
don't.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like why are you dressing up your kid as like a really creepy I'm like obviously if it's part of like a joint costume or something, you could do something funny and like dress your kid up as like a face hugger and you're like the person that like the face hugger pops out of. That is if it's like a joint costume, yeah. I think yeah, don't be putting your kid in like a really creepy costume, you
Yeah.
know? Sometimes sometimes these kids are scared of like literally everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm playing devil's advocate for myself because, like, on one hand, I'm like, let kids enjoy Halloween, but it's like on the other hand, when it's like it comes to little kids, unless they like it, don't force like the really scary or creepy crap on them.
Yeah.
Let
Yeah.
that. I was a Dalmatian like when I was really little. I remember that vividly.